Well, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lasses, and welcome to the click. You smell amazing today. I do hope you're aware of that fact. Oh, yes, indeed. Today we're gonna do something new that I haven't actually done before. For once, we're doing something new and unique, and I have old man toffels. So anyway, I almost fell over. We're gonna do r/AccidentalAlly, which is a beautiful subreddit. You know how people online always get way too heated about these things, like,
oh my god, look at those people doing the Gaia. That's unacceptable.
but then they don't really know what they're talking about, so they end up being supportive in the end, and it's kind of cute. Enjoy. Mwah. Yeah! Give up, you'll never be a man.
Oh, well, turns out that was the point all along.
Well observed.
You're a trans boa?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. But you'll never be a real woman. Just saying.
Ah, thank you.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, language is very confusing indeed. It's incredibly difficult, and the brains gets all the tinglies and the tanglies. Reacties.
Testosterone doesn't make you a man.
I mean, they try to have these, like, gotcha moments, but it all turns out to be like, yeah, thank you for the support, I guess.
To canon, species, normal, shiny. Someone said that this is the bi flag. I'm a little bit colorblind, so I can't tell for sure, but I'll take your word for it. Isn't that just beautiful? Look at that bow. Yes, indeed. Comprehensive naughty education. Frick yeah. Masturbatin, oral naughties, abortion, anal naughties, gender identity. I think this is made to be something like, oh my god, look at how we push our kids down into the abyss of hell if you teach them about the naughties in school. But it's actually good to learn about these things, believe it or not. It's much better to have someone old and decrepit tell you about these things instead of learning about it, I don't know, online or just like trial and error, because that can have a lot of consequences in certain cases. So, like, have comprehensive education, for the love of God. It's very important for living a happy life and finding yourself.
Chungus. It's Chungus. You'll never be real women.
I am not even trans. It's like a broken record. Oh, you have road rage and you, like, scream at the next driver, like, you'll never be a real woman. Like, what?
To avoid gay marriage, some parts of Alabama have banned weddings altogether.
Woo! Yeah, you just gotta just give up all the love. It's worth it to
resist the Gaia. Alabama, fam, I think you're like overcompensating a bit. Do you wanna like talk about it? She is such a cute girl, isn't she? Yeah, she is.
When you tried to make it an insult, but you actually complimented them on what they are. Oh my god.
Oh god, coffee is so freaking good. Oh.
People calling her a her.
You mean like you just did?
People calling her a her.
It's not even a big sentence. You have a total of, like, what is it, 5 words in there. And you manage to still, like, counteract your own garbage opinion in 5 words or less.
If you're a woman and you transition, you're still a woman. Therefore, trans women are women. Woo!
You hear that, Mango? Oh, all the support in the world. Go forth, my boy.
Before I came out as trans, I was in boy mode at work, and this girl came up to me and goes, "You're not fooling anyone." I was like, huh? And she goes, "You're one of them girls pretending to be a boy. I can see your baboobas and they're bigger than mine." I love accidental validation.
Oh, that's beautiful. Everyone knows the heart is in the boob. If TikTok puts a coronavirus warning on this, super straight isn't a sexuality. Neither is non-binary.
No, you're absolutely correct. What? Ah, got him.
If I'm gonna be super honest, super straight just sounds way like overcompensating. And wasn't there like theme colors, the same color scheme as Grindr? That was just hilarious to me. I freaking love that. It's so I wonder if they had like a mole in the organization just like, ho, yes, let's have some fun. My mom.
Ew, cutting your hair makes you look like a boy.
Me. And I said, promise? OMG. Y'all, I really need to share something. So yesterday we had an election in Spain, right? Well, the left won by a lot, and the fascists are super pissed. So they have created a mascot to try to represent how bad the LGBT is. And it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. This is adorable. What are you thinking?
Oh yeah, we'll show them how scary it is by having an adorable rainbow ghost.
Well, I'll show them.
Honestly, this could be a really nice emote for the Discord server. You want this as an emote on the Discord server? Check out my Discord server below and let me and my staff team know if you want this as an emote. That'd be kind of beautiful. I am perfectly fine with people who like their own gender in a loving way, but I hate the people who are so full of themselves, and when you call them she instead of them, they throw a tantrum. You know, like you just did earlier in this sentence without any punctuation. Should make a book about this, just a compilation of like people contradicting themselves in 5 words or less online. Oh, I would buy it, unironically. Is Christianity homophobic? Our aim is not to change the perceived sexual identity. Our aim is to give them a whole new identity in Chris. What? Welcome to our church.
Hi, my name is Jessica.
You're now Chris.
Oh.
How come the CDC is only reporting men and women getting the virus? What about the 23 other genders? Are they immune? Oh, that's a very nice gotcha moment. But also, typically when you measure like statistics that are population-wide, you typically pick the largest demographics because they are the most statistically significant, especially when you measure something like a disease that affects everyone. So this isn't a gotcha moment. This is just gathering statistics based on like the majority. It is actually very uncommon in English to do this, and you probably have done it without consciously thinking about it. If you do not know a person's gender, how do you refer to that person?
He or she by default, since 99% of the time they won't care.
Say that again, but slowly. They don't care. Oh, I love how the first comment just like predicted what the reply would be. Isn't that just gorgeous? No matter how bad your life is, just remember there are people out there worried about the gender of a plastic potat. Talking about the real issues. J.K. Rowling writes essay defending her transphobic remarks. Back in 2020, what a throwback. J.K. Rowling has released an essay defending her remarks and doubling down on her belief that transgender women are not men. But, yeah? Got a straight pride flag today. You sure about that? The blue represents man, pink woman, and the white stripe represents the purity of heterosexuality. I hate to absolutely diarrhea spray all over your parade there, good sir, but no.
Dear liberals, no matter how hard you try, trans men will never be women and trans women will never be men. Facts over feel.
I get the feeling this is very difficult. Why is it also made so confidently? If you're gonna have such a strong and confident opinion about something, you can at least make sure you have like the very baseline of vocabulary figured out. My god.
Felt cute, might delete later, I don't know.
You won't even need to tell me you're a duh. It's as clear as day. I don't think any man would ever want one who looks like that, to be honest.
Good, I'm a duh for a reason. I don't like men.
Oh no, the threat. It's kind of like... You can't fire me, I quit. It's like, oh, if you keep loving women, men will never like you. Oh no, the tragedy.
This anti-LGBT plus page shared my photos thinking I was cis. Traditional Catholic femininity. Oh, that sounds like a blast of a time, doesn't it? These pictures were sent in by a TCF reader who gave me permission to share them with you. Why on earth would she want to be a boy? She is gorgeous in her natural femininity and womanhood. Oh, you sweet summer child. Heterosexual Awareness Month. Right, let's dig into it, baby. Only one way they fit together. Heterosexual Awareness Month. You know that you just, like... Was this on purpose? You're literally promoting, like, relationship between two men. The only way they could ever fit together. We could take our cones out for a date, if you know what I mean. Heterosexual Awareness Month. It's such a weird counter, in my opinion. It's like, look at me, I'm part of the, like, 80% or something. Wow. Special. I think my favorite story is my bisexual friend's father, hating that she liked the same gender. So he sent her to a Catholic school, an all-girls school. An enclosed space with nothing but girls. I like to imagine him crossing his arms and thinking,
why yes, this is a sound decision. The perfect plan.
I am assuming that didn't go away according to plan.
Oh my god, you like girls? Let me put you in the space with only girls.
The punishment. I stand behind Trumpy Wumpy. Me too. I stand with you. I'm like a bit colorblind. Even I can see that this is a pride flag and a trans flag. I feel you are confused, but you have the spirit.
I have robbed the rainbow to make you gay. I have watched nature's own glorious tint in my lovely range. Follow my instructions in these soft, warm, silky textured genster wool will never shrink from a wash. Jester wool for gayer garments.
We stole the rainbow from God and put it in pants. In 1887, a group of men added a woman named Susanna Salter to a mayoral ballot. Ballot? Ballot! To a mayoral ballot as a joke intended to humiliate the women. Instead, she won over 60% of the vote and became America's first female mayor. Oh, how the turntables have flipped and smacked the cheeks. Non-binary is confusing AF. What do you mean they don't go by he or she? What else am I supposed to call them? You already have it figured out, fam. You see? Wasn't very difficult. Hashtag yes all women, because I am trans woman receiving and the killy threats tonight, and I don't know where to go because I'm trans. My uncle also trains, man. He is driver. Sometimes he get death threats, but never the Stay strong, trains is hard job. Well, I suppose the debate is kind of derailing. I'm sorry. I feel this video is really chugging along. Do you want to come along on this video? Well, hop in the cart. Gender is a series of social constraints placed upon the sexes by society. Woman equals femininity and moon equals masculinity. It is not an identity. So you're saying gender is a social construct and the associated stereotypes can be harmful to individuals? I agree. I think people are just way too interested in, like, that doesn't even go for this, that goes for like everything in the world. They're just too, I don't know, interested in making everything black and white, or putting things into very, very specific categories, when in fact most things in the world are just like a spectrum. Almost everything is. I mean, even colors. That's a super good example. How we as people have structured something into, well, it's not binary, but very specific categories. When in fact, colors, for example, is just based on light frequency. But instead we have said that, okay, roughly inside of this frequency we call that green, and roughly here we call it blue. But in reality the whole thing is just a spectrum, and there are billions and billions of colors in between every category in the spectrum. So sometimes it makes sense to, simplify things in the world we have. When I say like, oh, it's a nice weather, the sky is blue, instead of trying to specify the exact wavelength of the light, maybe that makes sense language-wise. It's much less confusing, and the exact frequency of the sky maybe isn't that super important. But when it comes to people, how they want to live their life and identify, it's much more difficult to fit into such a specific category all the time, and it doesn't fit everyone. And that shouldn't really be as big of an issue as it is, I believe personally. It doesn't really affect anyone else. It's just, well, the more happy people in the world who are able to live their lives the way they want to, the better the world.
Jesus Messiah can save a sinner no matter what they've done, no matter what they look like, no matter where they're from. Jesus wants to save them and have a relationship with them because he loves them.
So he can save them. Well, you better not have your hair in, collars and stuff, because that's, the most horrible sin of all. And Jesus will give you the spanking, if you know what I mean. Oh, Daddy, I've been a bad boy. I mean, Father, I have sinned.
No! Pronouns are something people use every day, yet try to push on the rest of us who don't use them, and then make out that we are the bad guys because we either don't use them or buy into nonsense around it.
Trans men are men. Trans community confused transphobes.
Woo! Thinking about the guy who fully told me,
if you keep saying you're lesbian, men won't want to date you.
Hey, so I don't like licorice.
If you keep saying that, nobody's gonna give you licorice.
Me that is confused if you're a boy or a girl.
Neither.
How is that even possible? Are you a god?
Oh, thank you. I prefer demon, but whatever fits your vocabulary. New follower. Only follows cis men followed you. Me, who's a trans guy and appreciate the follow. He's a little confused, but he's got the spirit. It's so sweet. Unintentional, but very sweet. Saying the Earth is a globe is like saying Caitlyn Jenner is a woman. Did you just manage to mix in transphobia with flat Earth? Wait, did I read this right? Saying the Earth is a globe is like...
I can't tell if this was made to shit off flat earthers, or if this was genuinely made by someone who's just like, oh, who could ever claim the earth is a ball? Oh my god.
You know how they first measured the circumference of the Earth? They literally used sticks in different locations. There is actually a video by Carl Sagan explaining exactly how this works. I'll leave the link in the description if I remember to. But essentially, you have two obelisks on slightly different parts, a few miles in between or something like that. And at different parts of the day, the shadows are cast differently on these obelisks. So while the sun is straight above one obelisk, it's not straight above the other one, which means that, even though the sun is like midday right now, the light is coming at slightly different angles. So by measuring the angle of the shadow compared to the sun, you could measure the angle in which these obelisks poke out of the ball they're sitting on. And then that angle, you can calculate the cake slice, the path in between them, and then multiply that by a full angle, a full circle, and then you basically get the circumference. Very fascinating, and we used, sunlight and sticks to do this. It's not that hard. Thank you, Jesus. Trump will not allow us praise. God, who's with me? Men should look like men, women should look like men.
These are both transgenders, you idiots.
I mean, you made a point, but I don't think it's the one you initially intended to make.
Oh, smoochy snuggles.
Are those two boys or a girl and a boy? They're two boys.
Nice.
I mean, not cool. Oh, okay. When you speak a little bit too fast. Oh, nice. I mean, I had a girl who goes to my school who makes being Christian a part of her personality trait. And I am in not any way hating on Christians. I just think that she's, I don't know what that word is. And she thought that a trans flag is actually the straight flag. These were her words, and I quote,
God made the straight flag the most beautiful. The pink represents women, the blue represents men, and the white is the purity of God trying them together as they should be.
Is this like a general misconception? It's really funny. I love this. I don't know what a cisgender is, but whatever it is, it shouldn't be allowed in front of children. If I have kids in the future, I want to be able to see them. Thank you very much, good sir. Your opinion is not very well formed. Some transphobe posted this, and it's just so ironic. Sooner or later, the truth always comes out.
Trans flag!
Woo! This whole vibe is like when like a really small puppy dog tries to bite you, but it like accidentally snuggles you instead. That's the feeling I have, like,
rawr, I'm so ferocious,
and then it accidentally gives you a hug. It's like,
you are cis.
I am not cis, I am normal. Thanks for normalizing trans people, we appreciate it.
It is difficult doing the swooners sometimes.
I'm a trans man, I bet OP has something to say about that.
You'll never be a real woman. Got him.
I know I look awful right now and I'm boy moding, but I still hope someone calls me a girl today.
Hey, you're a girl and I hate you because you're a girl, and some misogynist.
Well, it's the little things that count.
Now let's see them without the filter and convenient lightning. You realize a lot of trans women are fully capable of appearing like a cis woman, right? Never seen one. Wow, thanks for proving the point. Maybe you never seen one because it's working. This reminds me of that argument that's like, I have never seen good CGI. It's like, well, probably because you didn't know it was.
Sure, I'm fine with homosexuals and all that side of stupidity.
Oh, it sounds like you're real fine with it.
But trans is where I draw the line. At least being gay is still human. But trans is not even a valid reason. If you literally go from man to woman, you're still a dude. Because you will never be able to be a natural child or a period and all that stuff. You're a dude no matter what you do. All trans women are still women. Not a
That was a bit all over the place, wasn't it? Marriage equals one man and one man. You heard it here first, folks. Only gay marriages are valid.
Any English teacher who uses they/them as a singular pronoun should lose their teaching license.
That's beautiful.
Just the moron with pronouns in their profile.
Oh look, it's the girl who thinks her transphobic opinion is actually doing something. You get him, girl.
Transphobic isn't a word, it's a mental illness.
True, people who are transphobic needs therapy. Glad we agree on something. I always find it fascinating with people who have such strong opinions, but they haven't even gotten like the basic vocabulary down. It's absolutely amazing. I love that. Humanity, you. I would say never change because it brings really good content, but also kind of yes, please change. And not my homophobic grandma making pride hearts because she doesn't know what they are. Oh, that's so sweet. If you can't get people to be supportive, just trick them into being supportive. Deception is one of Satan's great deeds. Wholesome deception. Nazi scum. Don't listen to that king. At least you accept me as a woman. Nice to know you aren't transphobic. anything to hate on women. When you're so dedicated to one piece of your hatred that you even like have a bit of acceptance on the other side of it, just to make sure the hatred is pure. Ah, it's a man of one simple principle.
Your gender is not an option. You don't pick it. Your gender is something that's always the same. It's a part of who you are.
Unintentional, but that sounds very supportive.
Trans women are really women, and I wish them a speedy recovery of the belief that they are men, and they come off of the hurtful hormones and all that. Okay. Nice girl bike. Nice girl here.
Nice girl hormone supplement. Nice transition. I'm happy it was successful.
Thank you for all your support.
Aw, that was a nice little twist. I love it when people accidentally make memes that whip hella butt.
Traditional family, etc., sanctity of marriage, Christian values. Yes!
It's the rainbow bulldozer.
No, you can't just identify as being vaccinated. That only works with social constructs like having a pee-pee.
I don't think that's the argument. I don't think people are saying like, oh, I'm identifying to have a body part I don't have. Like, your expression in society and having a specific body part are two different things. I don't think anyone's making the argument, at least anyone, you know, with half a brain is making the argument that I can identify as vaccinated. The only place I've seen that is like insane parents, and that's typically not the best benchmark for like good, well thought through opinions.
There is no bisexuality, there's only homosexuality with occasionally banging the other gender.
Source, trust me, bro.
Once a dude, always a dude, can't change their gender.
Exactly. That's why trans people transition. They can't change their gender, so they have to change how society sees them to make it match. I think one of the most beautiful clips I've seen about this is on a stream, and they made the argument something like, okay, imagine if we're in the future and you move your brain into a body of the opposite gender. What do you think the solution is? Because you still feel like a man or a woman, but your body is something different. And the person replying to this like, well, then, you know, changing the body would be appropriate to match your brain. It's like, well, woo. It's my boy Jamie, heck yeah.
Biologically, you're still a male in my belief, but glad you found happiness.
Oh, that is so sweet. Check out Jamie, by the way. Incredibly wholesome and nice creator. They also stream on Twitch, where we have the pleasure of raiding into them from time to time. Very, very nice.
I support LGBTQ+ rights, but I refuse to call anyone anything other than he or her pronouns. Why? Because in the history of the world, the only things that ever exist are men and women. There's never once been someone born a they, or anything else. Even if you're physically different, science will settle which one of the two possibilities you are. I have no problem with someone transitioning from one to the other, and will respect those pronouns when needed, but I will never refer to someone as a they. What really gets me is how many of these people also try to tell me that they are a they. And also big believers in science when it comes to arguing against religion and other things that supports their claims. But I just ignore it when it tells them.
Oh, I'm too old for this. Well, laddies, lorkers, and horkers, I do hope you enjoyed this beautiful, beautiful video as much as I enjoyed making it for you beautiful lassos at home. And I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest, day, night, time, or time as you live, and I will see you very soon. Mwah.